Welcome to today's Explainer. Let's just dive right into this. If you live or run a business down in Holiday, Florida, keeping your indoor environment comfortable is basically a full-time job. Today, we're unpacking some incredibly insightful source material provided by Bright Air Duct Cleaning right out of Holiday. We're going to take a really analytical look at exactly what is circulating through the lungs of residential and commercial properties in the area, and, more importantly, how professionals actually fix it. We're going to explore the unique climate challenges we face locally and see how taking a proactive approach can literally transform your indoor air quality. So let's start with a question that's probably crossed your mind a dozen times. Why on earth are energy bills and allergies so incredibly high for us holiday residents? I mean, it's a completely shared frustration around here, right? It always feels like the HVAC system is just constantly running, kicking on day and night. The monthly energy costs keep creeping up, and despite being safely indoors, those persistent allergy symptoms just will not quit. Now, it's super easy to blame the outdoors for that, but the source material we're looking at today reveals that the real culprit, it's likely hiding right above your ceiling, deep inside the ductwork. Section 1, the Holiday Climate Challenge. To truly understand why air ducts get so notoriously dirty here, we really have to look at the specific, honestly pretty harsh environmental factors of living on the Gulf Coast. We are not just dealing with normal household dust. 85 degrees Fahrenheit. In Holiday, the summers aren't just warm, they're long, they're hot, and they can be downright oppressive. From May all the way through October, our average daily highs routinely exceed 85 degrees. And because of this relentless heat, our air conditioning units just don't get a break. They're forced to run practically year-round. That means the airflow and literally everything carried in it is constantly circulating, nonstop for months on end. But as you know, heat is only half the story, 79%. This perfectly captures Florida's signature humidity. When you combine that year-round AC usage with relative humidity levels hovering around 79%, well, you create the absolute perfect breeding ground for trouble. Moisture gets pulled right into the HVAC system and can become trapped deep inside the dark, cool environment of your ductwork. And let me tell you, where there's trapped moisture in the dark, you are practically rolling out the red carpet for unwanted biological growth. And that brings us to the age of our local infrastructure. 1977. The median home in Holiday was actually built way back in the disco era. If those properties haven't had their ducts professionally addressed since people were wearing bell-bottoms, it means they could literally be harboring decades of hidden, deteriorating debris. Just think about that for a second. Decades of accumulation. That is a whole lot of history trapped inside the lungs of a home, actively dragging down its air quality day after day. Okay, so the crucial question is, what exactly is in all that buildup? Well, the source data breaks down the specific, unseen contaminants that are hyper-prevalent in Holiday. First, you've got that baseline of decades of dust and dirt. Then, because of that 79% humidity we talked about, there's trapped moisture and the very real potential for mold and mildew. On top of that, you've got local allergens, specifically Pasco County's notorious grass pollen. And finally, high levels of pet dander. The whole shebang is continuously circulated through older, aging ductwork, blowing right into the rooms where families sleep, eat, and work. The material compares two extremes here to really drive the impact home. On one side, picture an overworked 1977-era HVAC system. It is packed with debris, the pathways are narrowed by thick dust, and the motor is just straining to push stale, contaminated air into the home. It's working way harder than necessary, which actively drains your energy efficiency. On the other side, you have a professionally restored and cleaned system. The air flows freely, zero resistance. Efficiency skyrockets, the energy strain drops off a cliff, and the air delivered into your living space is genuinely clean and fresh. Honestly, the technical difference is like night and day. Section 2, your local certified experts. So, how exactly does a property get from that overworked, dusty mess to a fully restored system? The data from Bright Air Duct Cleaning outlines a proven, highly systematic process to tackle these specific Pasco County challenges head-on. There's no guesswork here. Step 1. It always starts with a complimentary, totally honest inspection to identify exactly what contaminants are lurking up there before any work even begins. Step 2 is the heavy lifting. They use powerful HEPA vacuum systems combined with advanced brush tools to physically dislodge and remove those contaminants right at the source. And step 3 is the payoff, restoring optimal airflow to fully protect your home's incredibly expensive HVAC investment. The ultimate takeaways from this process boil down to 4 primary benefits. First up, healthier indoor air, because you're physically removing the dust, mold, and bacteria. Second, lower energy bills. By cleaning the ducts, you reduce resistance, meaning your AC uses far less electricity to push the air. Third is allergy and odor relief. finally saying goodbye to that trapped Pasco County pollen and those lingering stale indoor odors. And fourth, extended HVAC system life. By reducing that daily wear and tear, property owners can avoid premature breakdowns and some seriously costly repairs. Basically, the data shows that homes are getting healthier air while cutting monthly costs at the exact same time. It's a total win-win. When we look at real-world application, their track record really stands out. Over 5,000. That is the number of satisfied residential and commercial customers Bright Air Duct Cleaning has served since they first set up shop in the Tampa Bay area and Holiday back in 2008. That level of long-term community trust, yeah, that speaks absolute volumes about the effectiveness of their specific process in our exact climate. The source text actually highlights the core advantages that help them build all that trust. They've been serving our specific local neighborhoods, places like Beacon Square, Gulf Trace, Forest Hills, and Orangewood Village since 2008. And their technicians aren't just, general handymen. They are fully EPA and NADCAS certified. They offer a remarkably fast 15-minute local response time, same-day service availability, and they back all of their work with a 100% satisfaction guarantee, making sure the job is done right every single time. There's a revealing quote from the source text that perfectly sums up their approach. It says, "We are not a call center dispatching strangers to your door. We are your neighbors." I love that. It's such a vital distinction in the service industry today. It means that these aren't some out-of-town corporate entities just guessing at what a Florida home needs. Actually, these are licensed technicians who deeply understand the real everyday field conditions that we holiday homeowners face. The brutal heat, the intense humidity, the persistent pollen, and they treat every single residential and commercial property with that local understanding in mind. The source material wraps up with Bright Air's local contact information. They're located right on US 19 in Holiday, and they're open Monday through Sunday, 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. to provide free quotes. So I want to leave you with this final, kind of crazy thought. If your home was built decades ago, and that AC has been running non-stop through Florida's intense heat and humidity, how much hidden history is currently up there, dictating the air your family breathe and the energy bills you pay every month? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I will see you next time.